Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next episode of Collect This. And first and foremost, before we get to the introductions, I just want to apologize. Last week we had a lot of things going on IRL, so we did not have a podcast episode. But this week we are joined by the one and the only, the Herky Jerky. How we doing today, Herky Jerky?
Doing great, Does. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. We, just hanging out here on this beautiful Saturday. It is. I mean, it looks amazing outside today. To be honest with you, I'm not. I mean, you live pretty close to where I'm at. How is it over there?
It's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good.
Awesome, awesome. Now it's called. This is called Collect This. So the first question I ask every guest is, what do you like to collect?
Does I'm not really like a big collector of anything as far as, like physical stuff goes. I would probably say the closest thing would be like video games.
Okay, okay. Now here's the question. You said physical things. Do you have a bigger digital collection than you have a physical collection? And do you have a
Oh
physical?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have most of? I mean, what console or is it PC?
Well, I mean, I do have a PC, which I don't really have a lot on that right now. But I do have my Xbox One. It's got like over like 260 something games on it. But that's because I also use a external hard drive as well, like an 8 terabyte hard drive.
Oh my god! So you have an 8 terabyte? Yeah, I was like, I don't think the Xbox could hold it that many
Yeah.
games. I mean, I have trouble just putting like fucking 10 games on a. And dang it, I cussed already. I have trouble just putting 8 games on the base hard drive, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's because I did have like before, I kind of stopped playing it now, but I had like Call of Duty, the Red Dead series, Halo, and all that stuff.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, yeah. That makes some sense. Yeah, yeah. Call of Duty definitely. Oh, I had to get rid of Call of Duty. I think on my no, I didn't get rid of it. I ended up getting rid of something else. I saw like on the PS5, Call of Duty is so ridiculous. I mean, on the PC, it's even more absurd to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I had it on the PC for a little while, and I was like, no, like this is not worth it's not worth the headache of having it on on this anymore. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even play Call of Duty, but I have it for the just in case moment that I might need to play it for some reason. Instead I just have it on the console. It's cross platform, so it kind of adds it and evens out for me. Dang, dude. So 200 plus games. So I know you're a brand new Switch, player. You just got a Switch recently. How many games do you already have on the Switch?
Not including the subscription to, NES and Super Nintendo. Only got two.
Okay, okay. Hey, but the SNES and NES deal is really nice. I mean, you get
Oh yeah.
what is it? I don't know how many games it is. I mean, I think the base when it first came out it was like 20 games or 10 on each, but I think they've increased that a lot.
I want to say there's at least 30 on both.
Dang, that is nuts. So
It
it's
is.
60 games basically at your disposal. I mean, I I mean, you being an Xbox customer, do you subscribe to the Game Pass Ultimate?
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta say that's a fantastic deal to be honest with you. I was not really a believer in that until really recently. Like, I didn't really see the need for it, but then I realized that if you have Ultimate, you can play those games both on your PC and on your Xbox. And I used to just think that it was just Xbox games, but no, like there are actual like PC only games that you can get through Game Pass Ultimate. I mean, a good example for people that don't know, Knockout City just came out. If you have an Xbox One and you have Game Pass, like you can get that game for free on the PC.
Ooh.
Which, yeah, exactly, yeah. It is free. It's part of EA Play, which is part of Game Pass Ultimate.
Right.
So that is
Mhm.
a brand new $20 game that you can get for free that has over 2 million people playing it right now. Insane.
Mhm. Yeah, and I also did the same thing because MLB The Show is on Xbox for the first time this year, and it's on the Game Pass. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting that.
Yeah, that is true. You're right. Yeah, I've actually seen only Xbox players playing that game because it's free. Uh,
Mhm.
I haven't played the show in a very long time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I used to play like the home run derby types of games back in the early 2000s. I guess since we're talking about video games, Herky, what is your favorite video game of all time? Or if you don't have a favorite video game, what's your favorite franchise of all time?
Oh man, that's a really good question there. Um, My favorite game of all time, man, that's a tough one. I don't really say I have like a favorite game of all time, but if I had to say like my favorite series, man, I'd probably have to go with the Donkey Kong Country series.
Okay, nice. I mean, that was the very first Nintendo Switch game that you actually streamed, wasn't it?
Yes, I streamed Donkey Kong Country 2 was the first one I streamed on the Switch.
I have great memories of Donkey Kong Country. I used to play with my cousin a lot, and
Mhm.
we just had a blast. I mean, that game was, I mean, for its time. I mean, even today, like if you look at Tropic Storm, I think is the one that's on the Switch and the Wii U, or
Tropical Freeze.
there we go, Tropical Breeze. That game, it's pretty much Donkey Kong Country, just a little bit souped up graphics, but it plays the same way. It is really the exact same game. It's just Donkey Kong Country has stood the test of time for sure.
Without question.
Yeah, it's still as good of a game as it was back then. Today, like if you go back, it has replay value still. If you want to, for nostalgic purposes, go play Donkey Kong Country. Like you could definitely pick it up and play it and have a good time. I think.
Yeah. And the music in that series is by far, without dispute, the best video game soundtrack of all time, in my opinion.
So, who's your favorite Donkey Kong character?
Diddy.
You like Diddy Kong? Okay, okay,
Hmm.
nice, nice. Were you happy that they finally put a bad guy in Smash Brothers, because they had not had a Donkey Kong enemy in Smash for a long time. They had like every other franchise's enemy except for Donkey Kong until recently.
Oh, yeah. Talk about K. Rool being added to
Yeah,
Smash. Yeah. Well, I mean, I was happy with it because, at least gives him a little more representation for the Donkey Kong series in Smash as well.
exactly, exactly. Because I mean, Diddy's been there. Donkey Kong obviously has been there since the very first game. I think Diddy Kong's probably
Hmm.
been there since the first game. I don't remember. No, I think he
I
was.
think it was Brawl. He was the first. Was his first appearance,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
which was on the Wii.
Yeah. Diddy Kong's pretty good to use, to be honest with you. He's super fast. He's almost like I'd say Fox, as far as speed goes, just a super
Hmm.
fast character to use. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. I that's something that I did not know, and I learned. Okay, so that's your favorite series. You don't really have a favorite video game. What's the favorite game that you've streamed so far?
Oh man, my favorite game that I've streamed so far would have to be Red Dead 2. Going through the campaign for it on Xbox for the first time, which I've beaten it both on PlayStation and Xbox. But going through the campaign on Xbox was pretty good, and also doing the online streaming as well was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Red Dead Online is a good time, man.
Hmm.
You run into some interesting folks for sure. Uh, I had a great time when that game came out, and I played the online a lot. I like to play the GTA Online a lot, so I figured the Red Dead Online would be just as good, and it definitely was. It met all expectations, to be honest with you. I think Rockstar, Rockstar really knows how to make good games, and on top of that, like they are one of the few developers that will actually not just push out a game just because people are asking for it, because people have been asking for GTA 6 forever, and even Red Dead 2. I think it took a long time for them to come out with that as well, and it was probably a perfect game, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, without question.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Definitely probably game of the year for the year that it came out. And it's crazy. I mean, Rockstar's still making a ton of money on these two games that both GTA 5 and Red Dead that have came out now a couple of years ago. I mean, GTA has been out since the PS3 era. And Red Dead has been out for a couple of years now. Like it's insane that they are still pushing content and making good money. Like it's insane. Like they have the formula to a successful game without annoying people with coming out with a new version every year.
Oh yeah, no question.
I feel like if Rockstar could have had some input into Cyberpunk, I feel like Cyberpunk would have been released maybe in like a year or two and been a perfect game as well.
Yeah, I was just literally just thinking Cyberpunk when you was talking about that.
And
Yeah, I was.
Cyberpunk's not the only game. I mean, Street Fighter. for the PS4 a couple years ago.
Oh, Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, it got released for the PS4 a few years ago, and it was broken bad to start
Oh
off.
yeah.
Like that game, unfortunately it ended up being a really good game after the patches and the updates, but unfortunately, like it had such a bad reputation. Fallout 76 is another great example of these games that Bethesda just was like, okay, we gotta release it, we gotta release it, we gotta have deadlines, and they just I mean, instead of being patient and taking the Rockstar approach and try to monetize on the game you already have out, uh, and not rush something out like that.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat's the same way, because Mortal Kombat X came out in, was it 2013? It came out a little bit after the PS4 and Xbox One, and then about a couple of years ago, Mortal Kombat 11 came out, and they don't try to rush their stuff either.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I would say Mortal Kombat is my 1B as far as favorite video game franchises. Donkey Kong being one, Mortal Kombat being one, Donkey Kong Country being 1A, Mortal Kombat being 1B.
Hey man, those fatalities when I was a kid were like, oh my god, you can do this in a video game. Oh my god.
And
Uh,
the innovation they made with the fatalities now, oh my god.
yeah, they're insane now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The newest one that just came out has some pretty interesting fatalities for sure,
Oh
man.
yeah, for sure.
You know what? That's it's definitely up there for one of the best fighting games of all time. Just that series in general. But there's so many good fighting series. I mean, King of Fighters is really good. I love Street Fighter as well. It has a special space in my heart. Smash Brothers obviously is more of the fun, like haha fighting game. Dragon Ball. There's like so many Dragon Ball fighting games now. Like there, and then I guess Naruto. I mean, for those that love the anime, I heard the game is really really good. I've never played the Naruto fighting game. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I know a lot of people that do.
Yeah. And also Tekken 2 is also a good fighting game series.
You're right, Tekken, and it's funny because they made the Pokemon Tekken, so Pokken,
Oh
um,
yeah.
which I mean I consider it a Tekken game to be honest with you because it's made by them, just with Pokemon
Mhm.
characters instead.
Right.
I would say that yeah, you're right. The Tekken series is another franchise that has stood the test of time. I mean, none of these guys, except for Street Fighter that we just talked about, have released a game just to release a game without without it being all buggy and broken. I'll say
Right.
that.
Sure.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Obviously, for those that don't know, Herky Jerky is a Twitch streamer. You can follow him, twitch.tv/Herky Jerky. But let me ask you a question. What inspired your colors? Because I really love the lime green and black overlay.
Um, just being like a wrestling fan, with D-Generation X.
I thought so.
Um, and also it's just, I mean, black is my favorite color, but I also wanted something that, kind of popped out or whatnot. And I was thinking, I mean, green's my second favorite color, but I didn't want it to be like a normal dull green. It was like, let's kind of try to spice it up a little bit. And I was like, hey, lime green would be perfect.
Okay, okay. So you were a big DX fan. Are you a big wrestling fan?
Yes.
Do you still watch the current product right now?
When I'm not having to work, I try to, but I mean, I've been keeping up with it, but not like watched it or anything like that.
I got you. I got you. And so, do you watch AEW as well?
Yes.
Okay, okay. And so you know what? This definitely is gonna start steering into wrestling because I love wrestling.
Okay.
I haven't
I'm cool
watched
with
the
that.
WWE product very much in a bit. I mean, I'll keep up to date with it sometimes. I mean, I
Hmm.
can't tell you who the I think the IC champ right now might be Apollo Crews.
It
Uh,
is.
the world champ definitely is Roman Reigns on one of the brands. And
That's a SmackDown.
is
Yeah, he's
is,
the Universal Champion
is Rhea still the women's champion?
on Raw.
Okay, so
Bianca Belair's the women's champ on
there we go.
SmackDown.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'm not too far behind then. Um. Okay. So you watched wrestling when you were a kid, I assume.
Oh yes.
Who was your favorite wrestler growing up?
Diamond Dallas Page.
Ooh. Okay. A DDP fan. I love DDP. He's a great guy. Hell yeah. Yes. Definitely. 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 I actually had the honor of meeting DDP. When what did he? When they released that Jake Roberts movie a couple like 5 6 years ago, I met him and Jake Roberts at a in Dallas at a movie theater. It was
Ooh,
really cool. Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah, they're pretty special people, to be honest with you. DDP
Mhm.
definitely was one of my favorites, just because he was like this older guy that just had been around the roster forever, and then like he's kind of an inspiration if you think about it. And he was like 35 years old when he started professional wrestling, training to be a professional wrestler, which is insane.
Yeah.
And he made a career out of it and became world champion. Held the
Oh
title that
yeah.
Ric Flair and so many other like amazing wrestlers before him
Mm.
had.
Yeah, and his push to stardom was whenever he faked that NWO joint and just gave Scott Hall that
Woo!
diamond cutter.
That
Yeah.
was good stuff, man. I'm surprised
Oh
that
yeah.
Scott Hall never won that title, man. Like that's so.
I know.
Of all the wrestlers in that era, Scott Hall probably him and Mr. Perfect are the but Mr. Perfect at least was the NWA champion before he in the late '80s before he made
Oh
the
yeah.
WWE jump. I don't Scott
Mhm.
Hall never really won a major professional wrestling championship, and the NWA title still held some weight when Mr. Perfect held that title. But yeah, Scott
Mhm.
Hall, it sucks. Like I'm a big Scott Hall fan. I know he had problems with drinking and other things, but he was as far as wrestling goes, like his IQ is beyond the roof compared to pretty much anybody else as far as ring psychology, being able to talk.
Yeah, and also, going back to what I was talking about Diamond Dallas Page, another reason why I love Diamond Dallas Page is because, he's helped turn the lives around. I mean, you mentioned, Jake the Snake Roberts. I mean, he helped Scott Hall turn his life around too.
Yep, he did. He did. He got him all clean and sober, and he's
Hmm.
not just wrestlers. I mean, he's helped so many people turn their whole life around based on that DDP yoga program, and including myself. I've used the DDP program. I haven't used it since I moved to Tennessee, but I was definitely on that DDP yoga before. I'm definitely a lot more flexible than I probably should be at 6'2", for sure.
Sure.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So DP is one of your favorite, or your favorite for who's your favorite current wrestler right now?
Oh man. Um, Shoot. My favorite male wrestler right now, I would probably have to say Roman. And a favorite women's wrestler, oh man, it's a tie between Belair and Ripley.
Okay, Ripley's really good, but Belair is really good too.
Hmm.
Um, Honestly, I'd probably say for consistency purposes, even though Charlotte Flair is just, in my opinion, the gold standard. But it's because of her father. But not just that. I mean, she had a huge shadow to grow out of. I mean, people may or may not know, but I mean, her brother passed away. She had no intentions of becoming a professional wrestler. Decided to do it in his honor and really like perfected, what she can and can do. And she does some amazing things for her height. She flips off the top rope and just does
Hmm.
some really like and on top of that, like she turned her father's figure four into her own special move, and it looks pretty dope as well.
Yeah.
I like Roman Reigns. I'm so glad that they finally turned Roman Reigns heel. I feel like they took too long on that
Hmm.
boat, but he makes such a great heel, and him and the Usos make amazing like they just make a little amazing little group together, and putting Paul Heyman with anybody makes them legitimate in my eyes because Heyman's the only like true uh I would say heel manager really in general. There really isn't managers anymore. Zelina Vega was a great manager for Andrade, but yeah, there really isn't any more managerial types of jobs, which sucks because I love managers.
Oh yeah. I mean, and plus, not to mention, Paul Heyman is a master when it comes to like putting his, people over. I mean, the only one that should have went a little further under his guidance was Cesaro, which that's another wrestler, that's been pretty good. Also, it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Underrated. I mean, because pound for pound, Cesaro is one of the strongest, wrestlers in professional wrestling, and hopefully, maybe sometime soon, based on the direction they're going, hopefully they give him a world title push soon.
I agree. It's long due. Cesaro should be a champion by now. He has the fans behind him, so
Hmm.
he has the it factor. He has the
Oh yeah.
look. He has the strength. I mean, he can literally go toe to toe with the big guys and the little guys.
Dude, he
Because
swung Kali like what? Like 15 times around? And
yeah,
Kali's no no.
exactly, exactly. Like I said, he could go toe to toe with anybody, and that's the thing about Cesaro that makes him different than everybody else. He can fly, so
Hmm.
he can counter the high fly small guy wrestler, and then he can also go toe to toe with the big guys because he's tall, has size, and has a lot of strength. I agree. Cesaro is somebody that should have already been a world champion. It's
Hmm.
crazy and unfortunate. I think another guy that Paul Heyman managed that they dropped the ball with was Kurt Hennig's son. I think that
Oh yeah.
he was another guy that he won that IC title and it was really special. And then they didn't do any like I feel like WWE like they have these storylines written out, and then they execute and then they don't know what to do after that. And I feel like that's what happened with you know with Kurt Hennig's son. It was really unfortunate to see he didn't really, and then on top of it, they kept him on the roster for like 4 years and didn't do really anything with him at all. They put him in like they teamed up with Bo Dallas and made him like one of
Oh, the B
Midge's
team.
stooges, and it was so bad. Like, oh,
Yeah.
it's so unfortunate. Like, I feel like they got so much talent sometimes that they keep trying to bring people from the past. And don't get me wrong, I'm really happy that like I was at Royal Rumble when Edge came back, and it was really a special moment. However, I feel like eventually you got to start making stars out of these younger guys because if not, you're gonna have to keep relying on bringing old people. That I mean, I'm excited to hear John Cena's coming back, but I hope they don't like stick him in the world title push unless they're gonna do it to break Ric Flair's record, which I think that's something that still needs to be done. I feel like Cena is probably deserving of beating that illustrious record. I think not just because I think Cena's like the LeBron James of this generation. Like, and when I say LeBron James, I mean LeBron James isn't just a great basketball player. He does so much stuff for the communities. He does so much stuff
Mhm.
for everything else. He is very selfless, and I feel like Cena's like that as well. I mean, he broke the record of Make a Wish. Like, he has done more Make a Wish than anybody else ever.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he is everything that you would want in a professional wrestler, or any professional athlete or anybody that has a star power. I mean, he is selfless, and I think he deserves to beat that Ric Flair record for sure. I think Ric Flair was a better wrestler, but I think Cena deserves that record.
Yeah, and Flair himself has said that he endorses, Cena breaking his record. I mean, he didn't have no problem with Cena, tying his record either. So, I
Yep.
mean, if you got the man, backing you up on that, why not roll with it? But I'm just hoping that they do the storyline right, though. That's just my only thing if they do it right.
I think it would be pretty dope to get Ric Flair involved in that storyline. To be honest with you, and you know, and maybe like a heelish manner, where Ric Flair is trying to prevent him from breaking the record. Even though we all know that Ric Flair wants him to break the record, it would be pretty dope to have him try to prevent Cena from, as a heel. I mean, that's a Ric Flair thing. It'd be pretty interesting. I mean, who knows? I mean, he comes out to ringside sometimes for Charlotte's matches and has been her manager before.
Mhm.
It would be fun to see something, see them bring him in there.
It would be interesting to say the least. Or at least if Cena does break the record, have Flair put the title around him
Oh
as like
yeah,
a passing of the torch.
absolutely agree. I absolutely agree with that. I think that would be that would be necessary for sure.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy how long like just like I mean, if you think about it, Cena has been around for a long time now. I know he's been doing movies and stuff for a couple years, but I mean
Mhm.
his longevity, and he still looks damn good for his age.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can literally see, the potential that Cena had, when his first match with Angle,
Ooh
too.
yeah, yep. You knew. I mean, it's another guy that his first match was amazing too was Carlito, and I mean I thought Carlito was going to be world champ as well someday, and unfortunately, he just work ethic. Didn't really like the road schedule either.
Mhm.
But man, that's one of those guys that probably dropped the ball, and there's so many of them out there, but that's one of those guys I'm like, I don't feel like WWE dropped the ball with him. I think he dropped his own ball, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's yeah, same with Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah. See, but at least Del Rio won the championship multiple times.
That is true.
He had his runs, at one point, he was definitely probably the best Latino wrestler out there. And
Hmm.
this is without the personal stuff that he's dealt with and he's doing on himself. He definitely was. He's definitely a talented wrestler. It's just you know he probably could have been much better than he was for sure. I feel like WWE is still trying to find that next Latino wrestler to hold the torch, which is it was so surprised they dropped the ball with Andrade, man.
Yeah, I know. And here's the thing with Andrade. I mean, if you watch the stuff at NXT, I mean, he was kind of
Woo!
in that jobber status too. But once Zelina Vega came into the picture, it literally turned everything around. And Andrade became the hottest thing in NXT. And then also, watching him, win the title from McIntyre at which takeover was that? I think it might have been Houston.
Yeah, I was there.
Um, yeah, I mean, Andrade he's put on some good matches. I mean, you talk about the Gargano matches he had as well. I mean, the guy's got that talent, and I agree. I mean, they did drop the ball with Andrade with
They,
that one.
they did. I mean, I'm not gonna say Zelina Vega getting fired definitely hurt him.
Oh, without question.
But I mean, I think that what they could have done was put him like this is an example of where I feel like WWE probably dropped the ball. They could have put him in the stable with with what's his name with Heyman and Reigns and I think he could have done fine there as the potentially the other brand champion if that makes sense and have
Hmm.
Heyman on both shows and have Heyman manage both Andrade and Roman Reigns and have two champions. I think that would have been because Andrade makes a better heel than he does a face. I mean,
Oh yeah,
let's
without
be
question.
yeah, and Zelina, oh, Zelina's such a great manager. She's like, because she could do the moves, and she's like this little thing, like she's just so perfect at what she does. And it was really unfortunate to hear WWE, trying to monetize on these guys' personal time. I mean, the reason that all started was because she had a Twitch channel, and
Hmm.
she was just trying to, make a little bit of money on the side and use her
Oh yeah.
fame. I mean, and I don't like that WWE's interjecting in these things because it's not like they're representing the company as a capacity. I mean, if she was using Zelina Vega then that would be a different story. WWE should, I don't like that they're like Xavier Woods had up down down, and I don't think he's been on Twitch in ages.
Yeah, and
Um,
also Cesaro had his own Twitch channel as well.
yep, yep, and
And the thing
Miro,
about it is, yeah, Miro. Well, I think Miro still has this now since he's on AEW. Cube
yeah,
Sabian also has one, and then who else was it? I mean, AJ Styles had a Twitch thing. But here's the thing about it is, and I don't understand this. Adam Cole still streams on Twitch.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's the Chugs. That's his Twitch name. Yeah, I don't know if it's maybe something within the contract or whatnot. To I'm not sure.
It has to be a contractual thing because I mean that's the issue that they're having is they're not allowing these guys based off the contracts to play video games online with people.
I
Uh,
know.
it's essentially is what they're doing. It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like it brings more awareness because
Oh
they're,
yeah.
Twitch is just another platform where you could promote. I mean, it's a great example, and WWE was really mad at him when he first started his YouTube channel. But Zack Ryder is a great example of a
Oh
guy that
yeah.
used social
Hmm.
media, and I feel like he is an innovator, and probably deserves more respect. He created that YouTube channel, and he got a lot of people involved, and a lot of people really loved him and fell in love with him through that, and bought his merch and supported
Hmm.
him. And I feel like that's it's an extension of he's not representing Zack Ryder in the WWE capacity. He was representing Matt Cardona,
Yeah.
uh, and I feel like it's the same thing with Twitch. I feel like WWE is missing revenue because they're taking these guys off of streaming services, which doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. I think what it is, what they're trying to do is limit them, I guess, getting a push by themselves, and WWE's wanting to push it themselves without them having to do their own thing.
Yep, it's exactly what it is, and I hate that because I mean,
Oh yeah,
I feel like you're telling somebody to go grab the brass ring, which has been mentioned many times, and
yeah. Making sure you grab the brass ring.
you got somebody like Cesaro, who's in my opinion, has had the brass ring for ages, and you can't give him a championship push,
Yeah,
uh, and you give just random people pushes sometimes that it doesn't make sense to me.
yeah. I mean, I do love those, out of the blue, you know, moments. I'm trying to think of one that just recently happened.
I'd say the big
I
one for
mean,
me was Ryder winning the IC title at Mania 32. That
oh
was
yeah, that
definitely
was a
out of left field, and it was cool. And I think a lot of people were. I mean that arena was nuts. I mean, I was in there as well, and man, like everybody was surprised and happy.
mhm.
And I mean, even after that match, I mean, it was nuts.
Oh yeah, without question. And also, oh yeah, and also when he and Hawkins won the Raw
Ooh,
titles.
yep. Oh yeah, because
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Hawkins had how many he had not won a
Like
match in over a year or
I think he had
something.
like a 260 something match losing streak.
Yeah, it might have been a year and a half or something like that, where Hawkins had won one match, and
Yeah,
it was nuts. Yeah, I remember that. And then they won that match at Mania
yeah.
yeah, that was some good shit too.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's crazy. I like those out of the blue moments are the best moments in wrestling. I
Oh,
feel.
agree.
I
No
mean,
question.
coming from the Attitude Era, obviously, it was out of the blue moments pretty much every show. Like somebody just came out, or even on Nitro. You never knew what wrestler was going to come out for the first time from WWE, or vice versa. I mean, you had
Oh
Jericho
yeah.
coming out, after he left WCW, and they
Mhm.
stuck him in a feud with Rock immediately. Like those moments were the best, and I feel like WWE probably did themselves a disservice by buying WCW,
Oh yeah.
because you missed on those opportunities for sure.
Mhm. And
But
also same thing with like ECW, the old ECW as
ooh,
well. Like
yeah.
Brian Pillman, when he showed up, oh man, that was something else.
And the cool thing about ECW is that they had pretty much they were in negotiations with both WCW and WWE at that time. So sometimes they would lend talent to both parties, and then they would get a talent in return that would just randomly show up too. And you had like King come in and just talk smack to them. Oh.
Oh, yeah, Jerry Lawler hated ECW.
I mean, ECW fans hated Jerry Lawler too, so those were
Fair
good
enough.
times. Those were really good times, for sure. Wrestling was fun.
Mhm.
I feel like it's not as fun right now, but I think it's getting there. I think there's competition
Yeah.
now. I think AEW has proven to be a competitor compared to somebody like Impact. I mean, granted, they don't have the 2 million rating, that the Big Show, SmackDown, and Raw have, but I mean,
Mhm.
they're halfway there, which is pretty impressive for a grassroots company that just started,
Mhm.
production really like a year and a half ago. Uh,
Yeah.
I would
And
say.
also yeah, and also what helps with AEW too is they got these, alternate shows that, showcase other talent. I mean, like a talent that, I've been keeping an eye on is the Varsity Blondes, with I forget the other guy's name, but Brian Pillman's son, Brian Pillman Jr. I think they're getting a shot at the Bucks here soon, but they've been on like a, AEW Dark and all that stuff. And plus with Pillman Jr. being on MLW as well.
Yeah, yeah, and Puma Jr. has been wrestling for a little while now.
Hmm.
He's definitely impressive, and he had it's a similar situation to Charlotte Flair, where they're living in the shadow of their fathers, and they're doing an amazing job at coming up with their own unique look. I mean, Pillman looks just like his dad, but I mean, he does things that he does a little bit. His stuff is a little different than Brian Pillman for sure.
Oh, without question.
Yeah, and he looks really good. I mean, he's more of the high flyer. I mean, Pillman was
Hmm.
a high flyer too, but not as much so as Junior is. He learned a lot of stuff in the Indies, obviously. I mean, high flying
Oh
is
yeah.
is, is attributed to indie wrestling for sure. But yeah, they look good, man. The varsity Blues look really good. I think it'll be fun to watch them grow. I think
Mhm.
I definitely think that AEW's tag team division needs, more talent around. I mean, I like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and I like what is it, FCU or SCU. Um,
Well, SCU is no longer together. They got disbanded with that match against the Young Bucks when they went for the titles.
yeah, I'm sure that they'll come back together though eventually. Uh, what else is there? There's also the what's that team?
FTR.
Yeah, FTR obviously came from
Well,
WWE.
I mean, there's a
Um,
lot of tag teams, or factions, in AEW, that
yeah,
can make a lot of
obviously
tag teams.
you got the old LAX.
Oh,
It
Santana and Ortiz. Oh,
yeah.
dude, those guys. I would say outside of WWE, I would say those two. Well, I'll honestly say AEW has the best tag team division right now as far as like all the promotion goes. I mean, you mentioned, like LAX, with Santana Ortiz, they're good. The Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Ray Phoenix. Who else? Obviously the Young Bucks, FTR. Dude, I would love to see those four like go at it in like a championship match, a fatal four way.
That would be dope. That would be
Dude,
fun.
they would tear the house down. They showed, the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks, they've tore the house down like many times. Not only in like, what is it? The I forget the name of the promotion where Excalibur was at. It was the promotion out in California. I can't
Oh,
remember.
Lucha Underground
PWG, I think.
or
No,
PWG.
no, but Lucha Underground was also a great, promotion as well.
They just
It
never had
was
the
just,
viewage. Is the problem?
yeah, being on the El Rey network didn't help them. I wasn't able to watch it on TV, but I was able to keep up with like the seasons and stuff, like on Netflix.
I think the other problem that Lucha Underground had is that they just had bad ownership too. Like I know that sometimes paychecks and stuff like that were a thing. It was
Sure.
unfortunate because that was a really good produced show. I liked it a lot
Oh
as
yeah.
well. Yeah,
Oh yeah, without
I,
question.
I'm sad that that show didn't make it because it was just another wrestling pro. But some of those talents have moved on to other promotions, so
Hmm.
they're still there. It's not like they just disappeared in thin air. But it was cool because it was unique. It was nothing but like an American lucha libre style wrestling show, and it was really good produced.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, without question.
Let's see. Let's think about this. The women's division in AEW is probably really good as well. I mean, I think WWE obviously still has the step up on them. Just the pure talent in WWE is,
Hmm.
is is you know. I mean, Impact also has had an amazing women's division. I feel like they probably, if you go back and look at who probably made the biggest impact in the women's wrestling industry as a whole, it's probably Impact. Their women's division
Yeah.
kept them alive for a very long time. I feel like you can circle back and just pinpoint like who had the best women's division, and it was Impact for a very long time. I feel like WWE kind of identified that, and they're like, no, we got to improve our guys, and they had Dusty Rhodes train people like Sasha Banks and everybody
Hmm.
else that's there today, like Charlotte, and it's crazy like how good they are with somebody like him. And rest in peace to Dusty. I mean, he was a big factor even at the end of his days. If you think about it, he had a huge impact on women's wrestling.
Oh yeah, without question. And the thing about Impact too, they took him as competitors, not like eye candy like WWE did, before they did the whole, women's revolution
Yeah.
as well. You had what, as far as like back then, like at that time frame, you had like Trish and Lita, taking as serious competitors, and that's it.
Yep.
Versus, Impact, you had Gail Kim, Angelina Love, Awesome Kong, Taylor Wilde, all those other knockouts, being taken as serious competitors, versus like what WWE did, considering it's divas, just being like eye candy or whatnot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's embarrassing to go back and look at some of those women's title matches where they like had matches in a mud pit or like it was like really WWE or like the bra and panties matches for a fucking title. Like, I mean, it was pretty bad. I was like, we're gonna definitely look back at that era of women's wrestling and just be like, what the hell were they thinking? Like, it's
Yeah.
For sure, for
Yo,
sure. At least now, like we actually have good women's wrestling matches. And I still think that the women need more time. I think that some of these 5 or 10 minute matches are ridiculous. Like they definitely should be given a better. There should be more women's wrestling on TV for sure. Than
agreed.
and I think it's on both. Definitely on AEW and WWE's part to do the justice on that because it's not just WWE. AEW is a bad neglector of time on the women's matches as well. They'll have the women's matches, but the women's matches will last like 5 minutes, and it's like, well, like like you have a 2 hour show, and then you have like another 1 hour show, and then you have AEW Dark, which is another hour, like, and
Mhm.
then you're gonna have another show on Friday nights. Like you got to make more time for these women.
Agreed. And also, I mean, you got to get more, talent out in AEW as well, as far as the women's goes. I mean, obviously, Hikaru Shida, right now is the current champion. Dr. Britt Baker's making her way up, into the title picture. Ty Conti, another, former NXT competitor, making rounds in AEW. And, they just need to, kind of make different. I think the main thing with AEW, they need to do alternate storylines like what they do with WWE with women's as well. Because right now, the only thing I'm seeing as far as like AEW's women's go is just a title picture. I mean,
Yeah,
why not have like these secondary rivalries?
I feel like
Kind of like what Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa had. Dude, they tore the house down with that hardcore match.
I'm telling you, dude, Thunder Rosa is so underrated. I was telling my boy Eric. I mean, me and him know Thunder Rosa because she wrestled in the territory that we both kind of grew up in Corpus
Okay.
Christi, San Antonio. That's where she trained at, and that's where like we watched her wrestle a few times. Uh, and it's crazy. I'm surprised that WWE didn't sign her. I feel like they dropped the ball on picking up Thunder Rosa while she was cheap and freely
Mhm.
available. I mean, I'll tell you a story about Thunder Rosa. Like
Okay.
2 years ago, she had issues with financial issues, and
Mhm.
she was asking fans for money to fix her car. Like like WWE could have dropped like picked her up around that time period, and I feel like they would have gotten her for pretty cheap compared to now. Like like she's a star.
Yeah. Sorry, my wife was just bringing some
That's
Taco
okay.
Bell.
You're good. You're good. Herc, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
Nice. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, all right, Herky. So the wrestling stuff. I mean, we probably could go all day about wrestling.
Oh, without question.
Let me ask you a question. So obviously
Okay.
you stream on Twitch. What
hmm
has been your favorite part of streaming so far?
The connections, making connections, with other, with your community as well. Uh, just getting a chance, like network with, other streamers. This what we're doing right now. Perfect example of
Mm.
the networking. I love getting a chance to talk to like-minded streamers who have the same goals that that I want to see. So I want to see my channel grow and all that stuff, and just getting a chance to talk with these fellow streamers. That's been the most enjoyable part in the whole journey so far.
Yeah, I agree. Just meeting people, being able to impact other people, bring a smile to people's lives. I think that's a really important thing. Obviously, one of the things that attracted me, to you after you found our community was the fact that you just you're very positive. You love to spread positivity, and it's one of your goals. And obviously, that's as far I mean, obviously, I mean, I can't tell you, followers and all that. It's a thing, but the most important goal for me is making sure that I bring a smile to somebody's face, make people laugh, make people. I mean, forget the things that are going on outside for a little bit. Whether it be a couple hours, make them feel happy because not everybody has that happiness 24/7 wherever they're at. And that's one of the things that I love about you, man.
Yeah, that's exactly why I do it.
Yeah, that's why that's one of my whys for sure here on streaming is just to bring positivity, bring smiles, and anytime we've encountered toxicity, I mean we definitely make sure that we take care of it
Oh yeah.
because it's one of those things that you can't situate, you can't deal with, you can't live with. You have to take care of it, and take care of it in a kind way. I'm not saying you do the best you can, and if it doesn't work, then obviously you let them go. But
Oh
you,
yeah.
positivity important for sure. Mental health, another thing that you do a lot.
Mhm.
I know you have the mental health streams like at 1:30 in the morning on Tuesdays, I think. Is that right?
For the most part.
And I feel like even not just on those specific days, you have mental health streams. Pre-stream before you start gaming and stuff like that. You have like conversations, and I know you've been doing a lot of TikTok, mental health, like and I think I think one of your videos recently, got a bunch of good comments and positivity, and I loved that. I love to see that.
It was the one where, I was kind of, showing my frustration, like with the personal growth or whatnot. I mean, you could see, I was, upset about it, visibly upset about it, but I wasn't expecting to blow up that much. Holy shit. We're talking about almost 6,000 views
That was
on that
awesome,
video.
man.
Yeah.
That's
And
dope.
yeah, and that's not the reason why I made it, because I just wanted to real know if if I wasn't the only one that felt like that, and come to find out, I wasn't. And that's what. And another thing I love about the whole streamer community is realizing, that hey, you're not alone in this. You know, you got people that genuinely, want to, support you, and just most importantly, just make sure that you're okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what I love about this whole thing.
I mean, here's the thing that you definitely should know, and this is to anybody and everybody that streams. I mean, there are literally, I think, 127,000 is the average streams going on Twitch per day. Like at any given time, there's 127,000 people streaming. Like
Mhm.
it's insane.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the fact that you get people coming to your stream, and I know partnership is on everybody's mind, but the fact that you get any viewers with so many people being on at once is something that should be celebrated. And I feel like sometimes everybody gets stuck into this mentality that yeah, how can I do better? How can I do better? How can I do better? Why aren't these people staying? And it's not more of that. It should be more of damn, like I got people here. I'm happy. Like I know it's one of those like just personal goal things that you want to continue to do better, and I get you on that. It's just I feel like some streamers definitely, and this time period right now is so weird. And I have a TikTok video that I want to release later on, but I'll kind of it's a weird time. Everybody is getting COVID shots. Things are opening back up. Viewership is down, and it's not just on on our streams. Like it's YouTube videos. Like viewership is down. People are actually going places right now, and going on vacations for the first time in over a year. Going to see their family for the first time in a long time. Going to see their friends and hang out with do the weekend activities that they used to do for the first time in a very long time. So I think that is one of those things that it's hard to it's easy to be negative and think negative thoughts, but in reality, and trust me, I've noticed my numbers decline as well because I try not to look at the numbers because I know what's going on in life right now. It is a weird time where we had a bunch of people that were stuck in their house. They watched us. Now they are going back and doing things, but eventually they'll come back. And plus the summertime is coming up. Summertime is really good for streamers from basically I would say June until maybe December, January. We'll have a pretty nice little run here of potential to get new viewers, etc., etc.
Valid points. Valid points.
I know it's hard. And it's hard on yourself, especially. I remember you had a community day and you didn't have very many people show up, and that sucks. That definitely sucks. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel terrible to see that happened to anybody in the community, because I know like how much work that you probably put into getting that community day situated and started. And I know you have a 1 year anniversary stream coming up. Tell us about that.
Yes. June the 11th, which will be the 1 year anniversary of my whole content creation journey. I'm going to be doing a 12-hour stream. It's going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern, going to 2 a.m. We're going to be playing a variety of games. Probably chat a little bit. And just celebrate, the HJ community. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be at where I'm at right now. So, and plus, not to mention, as far as personally goes, I mean, I would probably not be here if it wasn't for the HJ community. Those guys are the ones that helped me to keep going whenever I felt like I couldn't keep going. Just all the positive, affirmations. Hey, man, you got this, man. Don't give up. You've come too far, to go back. You got to keep going. And I'm just grateful for all the love and support that I've gotten from the HJ community. So it'll be June the 11th, from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Probably, sorry, my mind kind of goes a little bit faster than my mouth sometimes. Playing some Jackbox, probably do some Overwatch, chat up a little bit, and we'll just see where it goes from there.
Awesome, awesome, and yeah, definitely go to Herky Jerky's stream and have some fun with him. I love when he plays Jackbox games, and his community is super positive and super friendly. Definitely give him some love. I will say June 11th is National Making Life Beautiful Day, so there you go.
Oh wow,
You
okay.
you got something there. It's also National Corn on the Cob Day, but
Hang on a second. Hey, babe, you might want to make sure to get some corn on June the 11th.
That's awesome. That's awesome. It's gonna be good. You're gonna have a nice you'll have a nice time. I guarantee you, like, things will be good that day.
Oh
I'll
yeah, I'm
obviously
excited
be
about it.
slipping by and giving some love. 1 year is a big deal. You're almost at 600 followers, I believe, on Twitch. Last I checked,
No, I'm at 700,
you're at
like
700.
770. No, that TikTok video that I was talking about,
Nice.
dude, people were freaking following. I mean, I wasn't trying to get followers on that. That's the thing. I was not trying to, get it for myself. I mean, I was just saying, hey, man, I just wonder if anybody else felt like that. And
That's
next thing you know,
amazing.
it just went.
I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Yeah. I
Yeah.
wrote these notes down before that video dropped. So that is
Hmm.
dude, you have grown. That's super cool to hear. I'm really
Yeah.
happy for you, man.
Yeah.
You
Thank
know,
you.
it obviously you weren't trying to do that. It was a very a natural thing. You were just, disappointed, and you were trying to look for, to see if anybody else had a similar, like, not issue, but mentality, I guess, is probably the better way to say it, because there's so many people. Like I said, there's like 127,000 people at once are streaming. There are 140 million Twitch users, but let's be real, they're not all online at the time, and a lot of them populate to the big mega streamers that are around,
Oh yeah.
small streamers. We're out here, just trying to make content, and find ways to be creative, and this is the thing I love about streaming is it's not just making the family, which is an important thing, but it's also just making content and having fun with it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The video I released after the whole thing blew up was that Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I saw that.
Uh, dude, just hearing my buddies go like, it's like, John, I mean, I didn't even see that guy in the corner. I mean, I could have potentially gotten an ace on that one and just not even known about it. But man, I was just laughing because they were just like stammering in the background. And then also the Super Mario 3D World surprise stream had whenever got that first green star in that second level. Next thing you know, I just ground pounded myself to oblivion after running circles around that Koopa. I was like, "Yep, that is karma in a Koopa shell."
Well, Herky, I know you got food beside you. Let me just double check my notes to make sure there's nothing else that I missed here. I think that is it, my friend. Do you have any questions for me?
No, man, I think we're good to go, man. If kind of talk to these people, man. If you guys have not had a chance to go check out Dose, I highly encourage you to go check his stuff out. He's very awesome. He's also a member of the HJ community. And he's just a very kick-ass person. So, if you guys want to go check him out, I highly encourage you to go check him out. So that's all I basically got.
Well, I appreciate your Herky Jerky. Obviously, this probably won't be the last time, but it was the first time that you're on this show. You have a
Mhm.
good one, and like I said, we both spread love and positivity. If you guys need anything, we both have Discord communities where we'll talk to you, man.
Mhm.
Don't sit there alone, thinking bad things. There are also national suicide hotlines, but if you want, just some streamers to chill with, I mean, we're here for you, man.
Absolutely.
All right. You have a good one, man. And I love all of you guys. And it's nice to
All
see
right.
you guys
All
later.
right. All right. And don't forget, guys, this is a reminder that you kick ass. And don't you forget it.